Picture this. A birthday so outrageous, so over the top, that even Diddy's infamous yacht parties would look like a child's Chuck E. Cheese pizza night. Rasheeda didn't just throw Kirk a birthday party. Oh no. She staged a reality TV masterpiece, a royal coronation of mess, wrapped in velvet drama and sprinkled with gold-plated shock value. 30 friends, flashing cameras, champagne flowing like Niagara Falls. And right at the center, Rasheeda presenting Kirk with a 1970 classic gift so dramatic, it could have come with its own theme music. Forget roses, forget cake, forget gift cards to Target. She basically handed him a time machine, dipped in nostalgia, and polished with enough sentimental power to make Hallmark executives cry in the shower. And if you think this was just a wholesome little birthday dinner, please, this is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Wholesome left the building years ago. Behind every toast lurked tension. Behind every smile, secrets. And that classic gift, oh baby, it lit up the gossip blogs like Times Square on New Year's Eve. What Rasheeda pulled off wasn't just a birthday celebration. It was an event, a statement, a cultural earthquake that shook the internet to its messy, meme-loving core. The night began with whispers, because in Love and Hip Hop land, a surprise is never just a surprise. It's foreshadowing for chaos. Rasheeda had been planning this for weeks, sliding around Atlanta with the precision of a CIA operative, making sure not a peep leaked out to Kirk. She called in family, friends, castmates, and even some frenemies. Because what's a party without a little tension in the air? The venue? Not your average steakhouse. Rasheeda secured a spot so extravagant it made Instagram influencers feel underdressed. Chandeliers glistened like the diamonds on Cardi B's pinky, tables dripped with luxury, and the menu looked like a Forbes list of calories. Guests arrived one by one, their outfits screaming, "Don't pan to me unless I'm camera ready." But the real show wasn't the decor. It was Rasheeda's grand entrance. Dressed to destroy egos and melt eyeballs, she walked in with that aura of, "I planned this, I paid for this, and I will be the headline." The crowd gasped. Kirk, he was clueless. Blindfolded, escorted in like a man about to face a firing squad of emotions. When the blindfold came off, the camera zoomed. Gasps rippled. Kirk saw the crowd, the setup, the flashing lights, and for once, he was speechless. Twitter had a field day with the screenshots. Kirk finally shut up? "This is historic," the toast began. Friends praised their love while side eyes whispered, "We'll see." Enemies disguised as allies sipped wine and silently prayed for drama. Rasheeda soaked it in, smiling like a cat who just cornered a mouse. But then came the bombshell. The gift. The 1970 classic. Rasheeda revealed it like a magician pulling a rabbit out of a diamond-encrusted hat. A fully restored vintage whip. A piece of nostalgia so sharp it cut through the room. The crowd cheered, phones shot up, Instagram lives multiplied. Kirk? He looked like he'd seen a ghost of his younger self. Back when sideburns were thick, bell-bottoms were legal, and nobody knew what a scandal blog was. His face screamed gratitude, shock, and a dash of, "Is this a trap?" Because, let's be honest, gifts this big in Love and Hip Hop world are rarely just gifts. They're statements, power plays, receipts in disguise. The whispers grew. Why a 1970 gift? What's the symbolism? Is this Rasheeda showing loyalty or throwing shade? The streets had questions. Twitter users turned into FBI analysts overnight, dissecting the meaning behind chrome rims and leather seats like it was coded language. The first half of the party was all glitter and champagne. But if you know anything about Rasheeda and Kirk, you know smooth waters don't last, because beneath the glitz, tension bubbled. This wasn't just a celebration, it was a chessboard. And Rasheeda had just made her move. Once the gift was unveiled, social media detonated. Hashtags like Jam Rasheeda's Revenge and Kirk 1970 shot up faster than gas prices. Instagram was flooded with clips of Kirk's stunned expression. TikTok creators remixed the reveal with dramatic soundtracks. One meme had Kirk photoshopped inside a DeLorean with the caption, "Back to 1970, but don't cheat this time." Savage.celebrities chimed in too. Candy Burris tweeted, "That gift though." Safari posted on IG, "If my girl don't pull up like Rasheeda, I don't want her." Even random rappers who haven't charted since MySpace days decided to post reactions, hoping to ride the viral wave. But the funniest response? Fans dragging Kirk. Every single shot of him looking confused became a new template. This the face you make when your side chick don't text you back. This the look when you realize the party ain't really about you. The internet is cruel, and Kirk was the sacrifice. Meanwhile, the dinner took a turn. Drinks kept flowing, tongues got loose, and someone decided this was the perfect time to bring up Kirk's past. Yep, the elephant in the room had arrived, uninvited, wearing stilettos. Guests started dropping slick comments disguised as jokes. Remember that time Kirk had a whole situation? Laughter rang out, but you could cut the tension with a butter knife. Rasheeda? She didn't flinch. She just smiled. That quiet, terrifying smile women give when they're 3 steps ahead. Some fans swore she planned the entire thing to remind Kirk of both loyalty and leverage. Like, here's a 1970 car to remind you of the year loyalty still existed. Petty genius. But the cherry on top? The blogs. Within hours, headlines exploded. Rasheeda flexes on Kirk with vintage gift. Birthday bash or power move? Is Rasheeda reminding Kirk who really runs the show? By the 20-minute mark of this episode, it wasn't just a party anymore. It was a cultural moment. People weren't debating the food, the decor, or the speeches. They were dissecting the symbolism of the car like it was a Da Vinci painting. Every Instagram Live turned into a TED Talk on relationships, respect, and revenge. Rasheeda had single-handedly turned a birthday dinner into the Met Gala of marital power plays. When the music died down and the champagne fizzled, that's when the real story started to take shape. Because let's be clear, on Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, nothing ever just ends with cake and hugs. No. Every glitter-soaked party leaves behind a trail of whispers, memes, and arguments so messy they practically write themselves. And Rasheeda's surprise for Kirk? It didn't just land on the blogs. It took over the entire cultural bloodstream. The day after the party, Rasheeda's Instagram became a war zone of emojis and dissertations. Fans flooded her comments like it was a graduation ceremony. Queen energy, wife goals, that's how you do it when you've had enough nonsense. People weren't just complimenting the decor or the car, they were treating Rasheeda like she'd just pulled off the heist of the century. Forget robbing a bank. This woman robbed the spotlight and cashed it out into influence. Kirk, however, the man couldn't post a single selfie without catching digital smoke. Fans turned his shocked birthday face into a meme so popular it could have been sold as an NFT back in 2021. One caption read, "When BA buys you a vintage car, but you remember you once lived in the doghouse." Another one said, "Kirk's face when loyalty comes wrapped in leather seats." Even celebrities got messy with it. Tamar Braxton dropped a cryptic comment. "Sometimes the gift ain't for you, it's for the message." And that, ladies and gentlemen, became the official tagline of the night. Because everybody knew the car wasn't just a shiny present. It was Rasheeda's reminder that loyalty, love, and leverage all come with a price tag. And she's the one holding the receipt. Meanwhile, the blogs didn't let up. Page 6 wannabes, Hollywood Unlocked clones, Shade Room spin-offs. Every gossip outlet was milking the story harder than dairy farmers in Wisconsin. Articles popped up with headlines like, "Rasheeda flexes marital power with 1970 classic gift," "Kirk Frost's birthday surprise sparks debate," "Loyalty or leverage." Atlanta queenpin Rasheeda shows how to run a marriage with chrome rims. The best part? Relationship gurus suddenly thought they were part of the show. TikTok coaches posted videos titled, "What Rasheeda Can Teach Us About Partnership Dynamics." Twitter therapists were writing threads so long they needed table of contents. They broke down the symbolism of a 1970 car like it was some ancient Egyptian artifact. 1970 was a year of cultural change, one tweet read. Rasheeda is reminding Kirk of transformation, responsibility, and cycles of renewal. Sis, it's a car, but the internet doesn't need logic to thrive. It just needs content. And content? This party gave us enough to last for weeks. The ripple effect hit couples everywhere. Women across Atlanta started side-eyeing their men like, "Why haven't you ever surprised me with a classic car?" Men tried to clap back with, "Well, you're not Rasheeda either." But let's be honest, that argument doesn't win. Therapists reported an uptick in couples fighting over Love and Hip Hop episodes. Rasheeda's party wasn't just television. It was a cultural therapy session in sequins and leather seats. But let's not pretend Kirk didn't benefit at all. As much as the internet roasted him, the man's name was trending harder than Taylor Swift's new album. He went from Rasheeda's husband who messed up to that guy with the vintage birthday gift. And in the world of reality TV, bad press is still press. Rumors even popped up that Kirk was negotiating brand deals, something like how to accept gifts gracefully podcast appearances. If true, the irony could cure global warming. And then came the speculation about Rasheeda's next move. because fans know she's not just playing house, she's playing chess. People started whispering, what if this was just step one? Is Rasheeda about to launch a vintage brand collab? Is she lining up her storyline for the next season? The theories multiplied like rabbits. Rasheeda didn't just throw a birthday. She set off an economy of gossip, speculation, and free PR that money can't buy. Meanwhile, the cast wasn't silent either. Fellow love and hip-hop stars threw in their 2 cents, some praising Rasheeda's boss energy, others low-key shading her for doing too much. And that, of course, gave producers their next storyline. Because trust me, they already had cameras rolling the moment someone said, Rasheeda flexed too hard. But let's zoom out for a second. This wasn't just about one dinner party. It was about image, narrative, and survival in the Shark Tank we call reality TV. Rasheeda showed the world that she's not just Kirk's wife, she's the director of this movie. She controls the plot, she writes the lines, and if Kirk doesn't play his part right, she's not afraid to remind him who owns the production rights. By the end of it all, the internet wasn't just entertained. They were obsessed. They dissected every champagne toast, every side-eye, every Instagram caption Rasheeda dropped afterward. She didn't just throw Kirk a party, she threw herself a cultural coronation, and the crown fit perfectly. And Kirk? Well, let's just say he got the car, the memes, and the reminder that in Rasheeda's kingdom, loyalty isn't optional, it's required. And if you slip, she'll happily throw you a party just to remind the world who really holds the keys. And there it is, folks. The birthday bash heard round the internet. Rasheeda didn't just surprise Kirk, she dragged him through a full-blown masterclass in marital branding. That 1970 classic wasn't just a car, it was a chrome-plated reminder that in this relationship, Rasheeda is both the driver and the GPS. Kirk? He's just lucky he got the passenger seat. But let's not pretend this is the end. Oh no, this is only the season finale before the next plot twist. Because if you think Rasheeda spent all that energy on one gift without planning the sequel, you must be new here. Tomorrow, it'll be another headline, another blog post, another reason to grab popcorn and cancel your boring plans. Now, here's where you come in. Don't just sit there sipping your tea like you're too holy for this mess. Drop your takes in the comments. Was Rasheeda flexing out of love or flexing out of leverage? Should Kirk feel blessed or feel trapped? Let the chaos flow, because I'm reading those comments like they're my daily horoscope. And while you're at it, smash that like button like it owes you money. Hit subscribe the way Rasheeda hit Kirk with that vintage whip reveal. Slam that notification bell so hard it wakes up your neighbors, because trust me, you don't want to miss the next scandal that drops right here. This is Celeb Ruckus, baby. The home of drama so messy it makes soap operas look like bedtime stories. Where the tea never cools, the shade never ends, and the stories are juicier than Kirk's awkward smile at his own party. Stay loud, stay petty, and remember, in this game, Rasheeda always has the keys. Celeb Ruckus. Signing out. Signing out.